Are you pouring your time and money into construction projects for only razor-thin profit margins? Or even worse, losing money? What if I told you that there's a proven strategy to turn that around and ensure profit on every project? Stick around because I'm going to reveal the secrets that will transform your bottom line and secure your financial future. By the end of this video, you'll learn the exact steps I take to guarantee profit in every construction job, empowering you to optimize the processes and boost your bottom line. I've helped countless builders just like you turn their financial struggles into thriving businesses. With my strategies, they're not just completing projects, they're maximizing their profits and achieving financial freedom. Now, before we dive in, I've created a free profit protection checklist tailored for construction professionals. This guide will help you identify key profit drivers for your projects. Hit the link in the description to grab it now. All right, let's get into it. Now, before I share my profit system with you, we need to talk about why most builders struggle with profitability in the first place. Because if you don't understand the root cause of the problem, you're going to keep making the same mistakes over and over again. You're thinking like a contractor, not a business owner. Most builders I meet are incredible craftsmen. They can frame a house, run electrical, do the finish work, and make HGTV jealous. But here's the thing, being good with your hands doesn't automatically make you good with money. When you think like a contractor, you focus on the build. When you think like a business owner, you focus on the profit. There's a massive difference and it shows up in every decision you make. Problem number two, you're using your own money for everything. This is a big one. I see builders all the time who are funding their projects with personal savings, home equity loans, or even credit cards. They tell themselves, well, I'll just pay it back when the house sells. But what happens when the market shifts? What happens when the project goes over budget? What happens when it takes longer to sell than expected? You're not just risking your profit margins, you're risking your family's financial security. Problem number three, you don't have systems for tracking actual costs. How many have you started a project thinking you're gonna make $100,000 profit, only to realize halfway through you're gonna be lucky if you can even break even? It happens because most builders don't have robust systems for tracking costs in real time. You set a budget in the beginning, maybe put together a basic spreadsheet, but then you don't update it as the project progresses. By the time you realize you're in trouble, it's too late to do anything about it. Problem number four, you're not leveraging technology and team properly. I meet builders all the time who are still managing everything with pen and paper, trying to be the superintendent, project manager, and CEO all at once. You can't scale a business that way. Let me paint a picture for you of what this looks like in real life. You're working 70, 80, 90 hours a week. You're stressed about money constantly. Your family barely sees you. You're one bad project away from serious financial trouble. And here's the kicker. You're working harder than almost anyone you know, but you're not building wealth. You're barely keeping your head above water. This was my reality for years. I was that guy working until midnight, stressing about payroll, wondering if I'd made a huge mistake getting into this business. The good news is there's a better way, and I'm about to show you exactly what that looks like. All right, here's where we get into the meat of this. I'm going to share with you my 4-pillar profit system. This is the exact framework that transformed my business and has helped hundreds of other builders do the same. These 4 pillars are financial leveraging, time optimization, passive income strategy, and systems technology. Let me break down each one for you. This first pillar is about getting other people's money to fund your projects instead of using your own. This is a game changer that most builders never figure out. Step 1, build your credibility packet. Before anyone is going to lend you money, they need to trust that you know what you're doing. You need a professional credibility packet that includes your background, previous projects, financial projections, and testimonials from past clients. This isn't just a marketing piece, it's your business plan for your loan application all rolled in one. In my program, I give students a template that they can customize. But the key is having something professional that shows you're serious about this business. Step number 2, identify and approach private lenders. Private lenders are everywhere once you know how to find them. We're talking about individuals who have money sitting in low yield savings accounts or CDs and are looking for better returns. I teach the people who are in my program to start with their existing network. People like friends, family, other contractors, and real estate agents. You'd be surprised at how many people in your circle have money that they'd be willing to lend for the right opportunity. The key is presenting it as a win-win. You get the capital you need without risking your own money, and they get the return that's better than what the bank is going to offer them. Step number 3, structure the deal properly. This is crucial. You'll need proper documentation, clear terms, and protections for both parties. I'm not talking about handshake deals here. We're talking about professional loan documents, title companies, the whole 9 yards. Typically, I structure these deals with the lender getting a first position lien on the property, and then I pay them a percentage of the money that they invested when the house sells. It's simple, straightforward, and everyone knows exactly what to expect. Real example, I have one private lender who has funded over 40 of my projects. She gets a consistent 12% return, which is way better than anything she can get at the bank. And I get access to capital without tying up my personal finances. It's been a game changer for both of us. If you're finding this valuable so far, make sure to subscribe to this channel. I release new content every week specifically for builders looking to grow their business. The second pillar is about working smarter, not harder. Most builders I meet are working themselves to death, but they're not working efficiently. Step number 1, time audit and elimination. The first thing I have my students do is track their time for a full week. Write down everything, every phone call, every trip to the supply store, every minute spent on paperwork. You're going to be shocked at how much time you're wasting on activities that don't directly contribute to profit. The average builder I work with finds 15 to 20 hours per week that can be eliminated or delegated. Step 2, batch similar activities. Instead of making multiple trips to the supply store throughout the week, batch all your supply runs into one day. Instead of returning phone calls throughout the day, set specific times for communication. This might seem small, but when you add it up, you're talking about saving hours every week. Hours that you can either use to take on additional projects or actually have life outside of work. Step 3, build your team and delegate. This is where most builders get stuck. They think they have to do everything themselves to ensure it's done right. But here's the reality. You can't scale a business that way. Start by identifying the tasks that only you can do, the high-level decision-making, client relationships, quality control. Everything else should be delegated to somebody else. I started with just one part-time assistant who handled my paperwork and scheduling. That one hire gave me back 10 hours a week, which I used to focus on finding new projects and building relationships with private lenders. Step number 4, implement project management systems. You need systems that keep projects on track without requiring you to micromanage every single detail. I use a combination of project management software and regular check-ins to make sure everything stays on schedule and on budget. The key is having accountability built into your system. If someone misses a deadline or goes over budget, you find out immediately, not weeks later when it's too late to do anything about it. This is the pillar that separates wealthy builders from struggling builders. Instead of selling every house you build, you keep some as rental properties to generate ongoing passive income. Here's how this works. Instead of selling your next project, you refinance it and keep it as a rental property. You use the rental income to pay the mortgage and you pocket the cash flow. Let me give you a real example. I built a house for $180,000. Instead of selling it for $280,000, I refinanced it at 80% loan to value, which gave me $224,000. I used $180,000 to pay back the construction loan, and I pocketed the other $44,000 in cash. And because it came from a loan, that's tax-free money. Now that property rents for $2,200 a month. After mortgage, taxes, insurance, maintenance, it generates about $400 in positive cash flow. That's $4,800 per year in passive income from just one property. Here's where it gets really exciting. If you do this with just one property per year, after 10 years, you'd have 10 rental properties generating nearly $50,000 per year in passive income. And that's assuming no rent increases or appreciation. Now think if you were to double or triple that number. But here's the real kicker. Those properties are also appreciating in value. So not only are you getting cash flow, you're building equity that you can leverage for future projects. Not every house you build should become a rental. You want properties in good neighborhoods with strong rental demand. I teach my students to run the numbers on every project to see if it makes sense as a rental before they even break ground. If you're getting value from this breakdown, smash that like button and let me know in the comments what your biggest takeaway has been so far. The fourth pillar is about using technology and systems to make your business run more efficiently and profitably. Modern construction management software can track costs in real time, manage schedules, and communicate with team members, and even generate reports that can show you exactly where you stand financially in every project. I use a software that integrates with my accounting system, so every expense gets categorized and tracked automatically. I can see at any time whether a project is on budget or going over, and I can make adjustments before small problems become big problems. You need robust systems for tracking actual costs against projected costs. This isn't just about knowing where you spent money. It's about being able to predict and prevent cost overruns before they happen. I have systems that alert me when any category of expenses is approaching the budgeted amount. If lumber costs are getting too close to the limit, I know about it immediately, not at the end of the project. Clear communication prevents costly mistakes. I use systems that document every decision, every change order, every conversation with subcontractors and suppliers. This isn't just about covering yourself legally, it's about making sure everyone is on the same page so projects run smoothly and efficiently. And finally, you need systems for consistently generating new leads and nurturing relationships with potential clients and private money lenders. This can't be something you do when you remember to do it. It needs to be systematic and consistent. I use automatic email sequences, social media scheduling tools, and CRM systems to stay in touch with my network and consistently generate new opportunities. All right, so now you understand the 4 pillars, but knowledge without action is useless. Let me give you specific steps you could take right now to get started implementing the system. Step number 1, conduct your financial reality check. Take a hard look at your last 3 projects. Calculate your actual profit margins, not what you hoped they would be, but what they actually were. Include your time in this calculation. If you worked 60 hours a week for 6 months, that has value. Most builders are shocked when they do this exercise honestly. They realize they've been working way less than minimum wage when they factor in all their time and risks they're taking. Step number 2, start building your private lending network. Make a list of everyone you know who might have money to invest. This includes family, friends, other contractors, real estate agents, business owners, anyone who might have money sitting around in low yield accounts. Start having conversations. You're not asking for money yet. You're just letting people know what you do and how your business works. Plant the seeds now, and you'll be able to harvest them later when you need the capital. Step number 3, do a time audit. For the next week, track everything you do in 15-minute increments. At the end of the week, categorize those activities into revenue generating, business building, and busy work. I'll guarantee that you'll find at least 30% of your time is spent on busy work that can be eliminated or delegated. That's a low-hanging fruit for getting your life back. Step 4, analyze your next project for rental potential. Before you start your next build, run the numbers to see if it would work as a rental property. Research comparable rents in the area, calculate the cash flow, and see if the math makes sense. Even if you decide to sell this one, going through this exercise will help you identify what type of properties make good rentals for the future. Step number 5, implement one technology solution. Pick one area where technology would help your business and implement a solution. Maybe it's a project management software, maybe it's a better accounting system. Maybe it's a CRM for managing your contacts. Don't try to do everything at once. Pick one thing, implement it properly, and then move on to the next. Here's the thing about these steps individually. Each one might seem small, but when you combine them, the compound effect is massive. When you stop using your own money for projects, You reduce your risk and preserve your capital. When you optimize your time, you can take on more projects or actually have a life. When you build passive income streams, you create financial security. When you implement systems, everything runs more smoothly and profitably. I need to give you a reality check here. This isn't a get-rich-quick scheme. Implementing these systems takes time and effort. You're going to have to push through some uncomfortable conversations with private lenders. You're going to have to invest technology and possibly hire help. But here's what I can promise you. If you implement these systems consistently, your business and life will transform. The stress will decrease and the profits will increase. And you'll actually start enjoying being a builder again. So there you have it, my complete 4-pillar profit system that ensures profitability on every construction project. Let me recap the key points. Number 1, financial leveraging. Use other people's money instead of your own. Number 2, time optimization. Work smarter, not harder, and build efficient systems. Number 3, passive income strategy. Build wealth through rental properties, not just project profits. Number 4, systems and technology. Leverage tools that make your business run smoothly. Remember the client I mentioned at the beginning? He implemented those exact strategies. In 18 months, he went from barely surviving to building 15 houses per year and generating $18,000 monthly in passive income. His business transformed, but more importantly, his life transformed. Here's what I want you to do right now. First, if you haven't already, grab my free profit protection checklist. It's the detailed roadmap for implementing everything we've discussed today. The link is in the description below. Second, pick one thing from today's video and implement it this week. Don't try to do everything at once. Pick one, execute it properly, and then build momentum. Third, if you're serious about transforming your building business, I want to invite you to learn more about my Home Building Blueprint program. This is where I take builders through the complete transformation process, from struggling contractor to profitable business owner. In the program, you will get the complete system, all the templates and documents you need, weekly group coaching calls, and access to a community of builders who are implementing these same strategies. But more than that, you get accountability, because knowledge without implementation is worthless, and implementation without accountability rarely happens. Here's a question you need to ask yourself. How much longer are you willing to work 80+ hour weeks for mediocre profits? How much longer are you willing to risk your family's financial security on every project? The strategies I've shared today work. They work for me, they work for hundreds of my students, and they'll work for you if you implement them consistently. But you have to make the decision to change. You have to be willing to think differently about your business and step outside of your comfort zone. If you're ready to make that change, I'm here to help you. Grab the free checklist and let's start transforming your business today. And speaking of transforming your business, if you want to see how I'm able to maintain such consistent profitability, you need to check out my next video where I break down exactly how I start a new home build about every 10 days. That video will show you the systematic approach that keeps my pipeline full and my cash flow consistent. You can find that video right here on my channel. Hey, if you got value from this video, do me a favor, hit that like button. It helps other builders find this content, and I know that there are builders out there right now who desperately need to hear this message. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next video. Until then, keep building your success.